Live from the Fox Den, this is Bad Guys and Bourbon. Avengers Endgame. This is our Avengers Endgame spoiler discussion. Endgame MCU Avengers special. Shit. I'm Courtney B. This is my guy.
I'm Taylor Dion.
We got my man Big Al over there on the couch.
Hey guys.
There we go.
I'll start it off.
Yeah, man.
Shall we?
Why
don't you tell me a little bit about this?
I don't know anything about it.
All right, that's good. Strong start.
I don't know anything about it.
We know nothing.
I walked into the place I go to provide whiskey for every show, and there was a big sign on the front, and the guy was like, "You tried this yet?" I said, "No." He said, "You're gonna want to try it." And then I remember there's a subplot in Endgame that could possibly be about Japan.
Hence the Japanese whiskey.
Santori
whiskey. Toki?
Toki. Yeah, Toki.
Does that sound right?
I don't know if it's a rye. I don't know if it's. I don't know.
I'm not really sure.
But we're gonna taste it. We're gonna review it. We're gonna provide a little grade at the end.
As we do.
And yeah, let's take our first.
That'll stay right there. Alan, you can hop in here, man. Got that?
How are you guys, man?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing all right.
Good to see you.
Likewise. Feel
What
like
are you
it's
doing?
been.
Yeah, cheers, man.
It's all right. Come on in.
Get in here. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bad Guys and Bourbon.
Salud.
Avengers Endgame.
Everybody dies.
Feels like a very momentous episode.
Yeah, man. April is full of.
Didn't do enough prep work for it. I've been kind of overwhelmed. Game of Thrones and.
Yeah, we had Game of Thrones last week. Thank you everyone for tuning into that. A lot of views, a lot of comments, a lot of direct messages, and people seeing me in public wanting to talk Game of Thrones. So thank you.
I got none of that, but.
Really?
No.
No, it's all people want to talk now. They just every time they see me, just stop. And I'm like,
Let's follow up.
They think I know something that they don't know. I don't. So we're here now for Endgame. We've made it 10 years. Damn. Game of Thrones, 10 years. MCU.
Is that right? Did
10
they start roughly at the same time?
Yeah, around 2008, 2000.
Iron Man had to predate Game of
That was
Thrones.
2008. Game of Thrones 2011. So
Really?
2008, yeah.
A few years there.
2011.
A long time.
Pretty close though, like almost hand in hand. I mean, close. Iron Man.
A small child could be a preteen by now.
Yeah. Iron Man would have probably took a year or two, right, to kind of get the phase one into overdrive.
Yeah.
They weren't cranking out 2 a year, were they? 2000.
No.
I don't believe so.
Nah.
I don't think so.
Maybe.
I think it might be 3 or 4 years apart.
I don't think they really ramped up until they were getting close to Avengers. Like after Avengers, they were rolling.
Yeah.
Once Disney got involved, they were kicking them out.
Well, it was a game changer.
They're cutting checks.
Yeah. What do you think of this?
I enjoy it. It's kind of light.
It's
a little
smoky.
refreshing. It's not overwhelming. I'm into it. No complaints as of right now.
It tastes like something we've had on here before,
I'll let you ponder
but
that.
we drink a lot in this show because that's what we do. But I can't place my finger on it.
Why don't we run down, run through the list of some fun facts real quick. Let's get into.
So, as you know, Avengers Endgame is the culmination of 22 movies. As Kevin Feige coined it, the Infinity Saga. If you don't know what we're talking about, this is probably not the the episode for you. We're gonna probably talk. We don't say spoilers. It's more of like a theory, and if it becomes true, then it's a spoiler. So just to point that out. But yeah, Kevin Feige has coined it officially, the Infinity Saga, all 22 movies, and they shot Infinity War and Endgame back to back, and the actors and actresses were only given their parts. They were not given entire scripts. So they would show up and they're like, we're doing this scene, you have your part. That way none of the movie would get spoiled.
Okay.
Yeah. I think culminating the entire 2 movies together was what was it, 895 hours of footage or something
That's
like
a lot
that.
of footage. Somebody had to do
Could
a
you
lot of work.
imagine? Like,
Me
how many people
personally,
you think it takes to edit that much footage?
A lot. Hundreds, I would think.
I'm sorry, 890. I was close. 890 hours of footage.
You're forgiven. Well, you got anything else for me? Is that it? You running out of fun facts?
I kind of just did all the fun facts in like one sentence.
You did.
I'm sorry,
I'm sure there's
guys.
like a lot of fun facts. So
I'll remember stuff around like as we go. I don't know
In an effort to
how
not,
I
like,
did that.
bog down the episode too much. We're gonna not like get lost in the fun facts, right?
I'll have more fun facts. I'll remember stuff
Throughout the show.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
I love that. Before we get into the meat of the conversation here, let's do quick, kind of like a quick little response to what are you most excited about. So, what is the one thing that you need to know by the end of Endgame? Like,
Ooh, we did this for Game of Thrones.
I know you can't watch Endgame, but they'll tell you one thing about it. They'll answer one question. What will it be?
Does Captain America die?
All right.
I need to know if he dies. There's a lot of talk at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
need
feel
to-
like he's kind of tired, and like he himself, it doesn't seem like he's having as good of a time.
Have you
Is he
seen him on
used
the
to?
press run?
Maybe he's
wasted.
Has he been having a blast?
Every time.
He looks
But
like
I
he's
think
just-
he did say he's tired
like
of
he's
doing
not in
the
it.
diet. He's tired of like having to be in perfect physical shape all the time. He kind of just wants to like eat a burger and have a
Yeah,
beer.
hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can see why that would be just be like, because Robert Downey Jr. can just show up
Yeah.
and not do not do anything.
I was gonna say Thor.
I want to see where Thor goes. Like what happens with him.
Yeah. I want to see.
He's become a
what happens
recent
with him.
favorite, man.
He
Like,
is
with
yeah.
Ragnarok. He's become.
He's up there for me. There are some rumors of the fourth Thor.
Yeah, I heard they got
happening.
pitched.
And kind of carrying over the same director and writer and same team from Ragnarok. So I'm thinking
I think he just found his voice.
that he probably isn't going
I don't
to
think
die.
he's gonna die.
So I lost a little curiosity around what's going to happen with him. I'm interested to see what they do with Iron Man. I feel like at some point you have to get rid of him, but he is a pretty centralized component. I feel like in the universe he kind of is the glue
Everything kind of
that binds so
revolves
much.
around of him. He's kind of like the focal point.
Yeah.
All of the stories kind of.
And his charisma and character is so
He's
like,
spot on.
appealing.
Man. He's spot
like everybody
on.
finds him like for the most part. Everybody finds him pretty humorous, pretty
Yeah.
likable. Like he's a driving force. So I could see them being very scared to kill him off because I don't know who fills that void.
I don't think they're.
Like I don't think there's anybody currently in the universe that does fill that void.
I mean, no.
Spider-Man a little bit because he's kind of got some of the comedy and he's kind of like a funny like you kind of enjoy
Yeah.
following his character around a little bit. But there's not as much like. I don't think the dynamics are there yet
Yeah,
with him.
not
He's
yet.
still a little young.
I don't see it
still
with
not-
Black Panther. I don't see it with
sort of-
Captain Marvel. Maybe Doctor Strange, but we've only seen
think so.
one movie. I don't
I don't
know.
think Doctor Strange is
I don't think they kill him, man. I think they just kind of play it safe.
play it safe.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think they play it safe with Iron Man.
Maybe. In that case, it looks like they're not killing much. Maybe Captain America.
What if they don't kill anybody?
Mm,
Somebody's got to go.
maybe.
I said that last time, and then I had no idea they were going to wipe out half the people. I said
Exactly half.
they wiped out half the people there. And
Which is kind of like
kind of bummed about it.
I wasn't bummed about it in the moment because you just know there's another one.
Right.
And they're not going to eliminate half of the cast and just have them be gone forever. So I feel like the drama of that.
I think I was more bummed about it.
Taken away from me.
How it, like, cinematically, how it happened. Like, people just.
I was choked up in the theater.
Walking around.
I was choked up.
People just kind of just disappearing in front of you. Yeah. And that Spider-Man hit heavy, man. Like, it's just.
Give him an Oscar for that.
I don't feel so good. Yeah, man, he should have won an award for that. I don't feel so good.
Have you guys heard about John Cena offering his services as Captain America?
I feel like I heard a comment about John Cena and Marvel.
I do know he's in talks to do something for DC with James Gunn right now.
Suicide
But save
Squad.
that.
In a Suicide Squad?
Save that.
All right.
So that
Put a pin in that.
All right. Well, it
Fork in
seems like.
Alan, what are you most excited about?
Yeah.
Well,
Let's finish the roundtable. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing you need to know going into Endgame that you haven't seen, but you have to know by the end of this movie.
Who gets the kill shot? Who does Thanos in? Will Ant-Man go up his butt?
Good question.
Good question. The internet is
I'm betting
It's
Captain
buzzing.
America on this.
it's got to be Cap, man. I think it has to be Cap.
I do think they're going to outro Cap, and I think that he'll probably be the one that kind of swings the final
Because he
blow. That would be my guess.
seems kind of underwhelmed. But we'll get there. We'll get where everyone is and a little in depth
I feel like it'll be Iron Man.
of these individual characters. And
You think Iron Man's going to do it?
I think Iron Man gets the kill shot. I think they're really...
He did start it off kind of a little bit, like he's kind of like the OG.
Right.
He is.
And they're really highlighting his journey back. He's on want revenge. I killed all my friends.
With that said, fun fact. All of the footage we've seen is, and Feige's confirmed it, like all of that one scene, all of the TV spots, all the trailers, is only from the first 15 minutes. We have no clue what's going to happen in this movie.
I feel like there
It's
can't...
what, 2 hours, 3 hours long?
3 hours long. 3 hours
I
and
feel
2
like I've
minutes.
seen some pictures or some promo
Yeah, I've
stuff
seen
of
some
like things that can't be from the first 18 minutes. Like I've seen like the Thanos like all jacked up with like the sword out, the saber or whatever he's got going.
I think it happens could possibly happen in the first
All
15
right.
minutes. Like, remember, we're not doing any backstory. We're jumping right into it.
Maybe where we left off.
We're picking up right where we left off.
I
We're going
hope
right
I
into
didn't
it.
backstory.
They may actually open with a previously on the Avengers.
That'd be awesome. Oh man, this is good.
Yeah,
It's
I
got
like
good burn
this.
to it.
I'm satisfied with it. All right, so let's get into the bulk of this, which is where do we leave off and where will it end?
So,
Let's start with
a little more.
of this.
Yeah, of course.
A
Yeah,
little
second
bit
glass. Let's go.
Of Thor.
Thor. We left off with Thor in Infinity War. He didn't aim for the head. He laid a final blow on Thanos after he arrived in Wakanda, and he was this close from stopping Thanos from snapping, and he didn't. And Thanos' final words to him were, "You should have aimed for the head." He snaps and he disappears. So I feel like Thor is dealing... I think Thor's had the craziest ride of everyone, right? He's lost everyone. He's the only Asgardian as far as he knows right now. Can't find his friends. You don't know where his friends are. His
His whole like team and everybody.
Right. He lost his father, his sister. He had to kill his sister. His brother's gone. His best friend got stabbed through the chest. They blew up his ship. All he's got is Rocket Raccoon.
And one eye.
And one eye. Jeez.
I think he got other eye back.
Now he got like a robot eye.
Oh, it's
Like
not
a-
real, but can he use it?
Yeah, he uses it.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah,
So it's like having an eye
he
back.
got like a glass eye.
He's good.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's great.
Cast bobbles in the sun.
It's kind of lazy.
Stronger than ever.
It's kind of lazy sometimes. It's two different colors, but it'll be okay. So do you think he's dealing with some remorse?
I never got the vibe, and maybe I'm just really missing, like, maybe I'm misremembering the end of Infinity War, but I don't remember there being, like, too much downtime. Is there, like, it might be kind of immediate.
in the entire in the movie.
Like
No.
we might not we might just pick up where we left off.
I think so. There was
and
like no.
Thor
downtime.
might not have might not have the opportunity to grieve. Like it might be run and gun. Like we gotta figure this out.
Unless there's some type of time.
Or
jump
is there gonna be or is it gonna be like 6 months later? Here they are, disheveled
and miserable.
But at the same time, I feel like we've done that so many times now. Like I feel like so many of these films start off that way, where like everybody's like, the Avengers are no more, we broke up, or everyone's mad at each other, or Civil War. And it's like at some point, like everyone's got to get it together.
Yeah, I mean, half the universe is gone now. So
yeah. And I don't think they're just going to hang up their hats at this point.
No.
So I don't know if we're going to get a big window of grieving from him. Maybe.
We got to see where Thor is. In the promo shots, he looks pretty sad. But
they all look sad.
Trailers are deceiving because Hawk was in Wakanda last year, so he never was in the movie. So.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Iron Man.
Oh, he's drifting away, isn't he?
He was lost in space. He was in space with Nebula. On Titan, when Thanos, he basically mopped the floor with everyone that was there, and then left Tony to die. The last we know of Tony is he's in the ship in the trailer, sending a message to Pepper Potts. So he's lost in space. Him and Nebula, food and water ran out 3 days ago. Does he make it back?
Yes.
Trailer shots say yeah. We don't know. We haven't seen it yet.
I mean, I'm just gonna open it with him in space, and it's like, oh, he's dead.
He could die
He died.
in the first 5 minutes.
He's not coming back.
Somehow he comes. We don't know.
He's coming back.
He's definitely coming
Shoot
back.
in the last 30 minutes.
Robert Downey.
Right.
He's gotta come back.
He's got
This
to.
May?
That's like the
It's just
problem
the
is there's
cover.
just like the, you know that everyone's coming back at least for one more like.
Hoorah! Yeah. It's in some
The
aspect.
suspense was just
yeah.
kind of removed from me in the end of Infinity War because of that.
Really?
A little bit. Like when everyone like dusted away, I was just like,
They'll be
"Alright,
back.
gonna come back."
They'll be back.
Like they dusted away like Spider-Man,
Heartbreaking.
You really want it?
and it's like, oh,
No.
there's more Spider-Man movies. He's coming back.
Yeah, they kind of spoiled us with those.
If they can bring him back.
They got. Yeah.
They can bring everybody else back.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how you died, or dusted, or disappeared.
Yeah, so I feel like the suspense piece is kind of is being held out for Endgame. In my opinion.
Uh.
But yeah, I think Iron Man.
Does Tony have a play to get to Thanos?
I don't think anyone has one except for maybe Ant-Man.
I think he knows some stuff. I don't think he knows how to put it together, but
Correct, and I think like the whole quantum realm thing,
it's definitely.
which I'm just like scratching the surface of that. But obviously, that is going to play a major.
I think
role.
that plays a major part.
And that's kind of his area. So I think at some point it'll
I think it's gonna take Tony to kind of
map it out.
to put it on the chalkboard. But we forget, man. Scott Lang's no slouch, man. He's even though he plays a kind of absent-minded, fumble over my feet hero. He's a source material, man. He's a really smart guy. He's a master thief.
Yeah.
So I mean, he knows his stuff. He fixed the suit to get out the quantum realm. So in the trailers, he shows up at the end, and he's ringing the doorbell to Avengers mansion or facility.
Trying to get in.
So he's in it.
Where have you been, man?
We don't know. Last we saw of Ant-Man, he was floating around the quantum realm. So apparently he gets out, and I think he's got to play. I think he's got to play there.
All right. Into that.
My boy, Captain America. He saw everyone dust in Wakanda. He just was left defeated. Is he dealing with guilt? You think he could have done more to stop it? I think that's what he feels.
I don't know. I don't feel like there's going to be tons of room for the whole guilt piece. Maybe. If they do like a time took place kind of time jump kind of thing, maybe it's there.
Right.
I'm hoping that they just kind of pick back up and roll
Just
with it.
run with it.
And in that case, I feel like he's more or less like, we gotta,
Cap's the
figure this
leader on
out.
the ground. He doesn't really come to the boardroom like, we're gonna do this. He's like, you guys come up with the plan, I'll get us in there. Like,
yeah, like he's going to be searching for a solution right out of the gate. Is
Yeah.
my assumption. That's what I'm thinking. More or
he was
less.
crying in the trailer. He had a tear. And no beard.
Because he's tired of being Captain America.
He's tired of not having cheeseburgers.
He's really exhausted of being this sad man.
Hulk didn't show up in Infinity War. First 5 minutes, he gets put down, and that was it. And Mark Ruffalo was Mark Ruffalo, was Bruce Banner the entire movie. Does the Incredible Hulk show up in Endgame? Promotional materials tell me yes, but the Hulk was also in Wakanda last year, so I don't know. I don't know what to believe as far as trailers anymore. I've been lied to way too many times.
He'll be there for sure. He's coming back.
He's got to settle the
fashion.
score. He's got to settle the score.
I feel like there's still something left for Hulk to do, like like when they put him in like the Hulkbuster suit thing or whatever last year when like he was in it.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. Like he had that moment where like he wasn't Hulk, but he was in the suit. You know? So he's kind of like. I feel like there's got to be another level there for him to kind of.
My theory
do something cooler.
Is him and Bruce, they find a balance. And they just kind of learn how to coexist together.
Does that happen in the comics?
Some iterations, yeah. There's a version of the Hulk called Professor Hulk that has Bruce Banner's intellect, and he operates as the Hulk, but as Bruce Banner, like the Hulk body, Bruce Banner's persona. And then there's Mr. Fix-It, where the Hulk, he wears a suit. There's a 3-piece suit, and tie, fedora. So there's a few iterations of the Hulk where he is, like, he can articulate and, like, speak with some level of intelligence. So that's where I think they're gonna go. Plus, people want to see the Hulk, man. I want to see him.
Yeah, I feel like
it's one of my favorite Marvel
he needs
characters.
some more screen time.
Yeah, I think we see him primarily the entire movie. Like, I think if he comes, I think he's gonna be in it the entire time. Like, no Bruce Banner.
Okay. It was never a Mark Ruffalo Hulk movie.
No.
And they've been pretty, like, steadfast that there won't be one, which I find kind of interesting.
Universal won't play fair, man.
Universal still has
They still got the rights to the Hulk, and apparently they just will not play fair. Mark Ruffalo has done a few different press. Apparently he has really loose lips.
Yeah.
He just kind of says what he doesn't kind of mask anything. He just kind of they're not playing fair. You'll never see a Hulk movie. He said it numerous times. Which sucks, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
It'd be a third reboot. First was Ed Norton.
If we ever get a Hulk, if they ever play fair, I don't think they'll recast, but I think this is the last time we'll see the Hulk in action for a while. If he shows up in Endgame, we won't see him for a long
he could pop
time.
up in some other movies, because he was in Ragnarok.
Yes, they can do that. They can put him in other movies.
He just can't have his own.
He just can't have his own, and I don't see any other areas as far as, like, we've seen the release for the next 6 movies, unless they do some crazy movie magic where they write in the Hulk or just have him pop in for a second. I don't see his storyline kind of folding
developing
over into anyone else.
Once you get the origin, that's all you need.
Yeah. He's an Avenger. I don't need to see him I don't need to see him unless there's an Avengers film until he gets his just due with a solid individual film, which I want. And I love Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, I think he's really good. I feel like it's tough because I feel like Mark Ruffalo is a better actor than the Hulk is, probably like a origin story, which is weird to say. Like, I find the origin story of Hulk more interesting because I want to see Mark Ruffalo's interpretation of it. I don't really
see it again.
I've seen the Hulk origin story so many times, and I'm not like. If somebody else came into play it, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, like I can't wait, like I really need to see this. Like I want to see Mark Ruffalo's take on it because
I think
really
the problem is we've, as far as this MCU version of the Hulk, the Hulk really only has about 3 major story arcs, right? Planet Hulk, which was merged with Ragnarok, where he's the champion of Sakaar. World Breaker Hulk, which is when he returns to Earth. And so in Planet Hulk, so that whole series, it's Planet Hulk and World Breaker Hulk. I can't remember what the name of the first one is. The Avengers are like, look, we can't control this guy. They send him off, they trick him, and he goes. They put him in a ship. He ends up on Sakaar. He becomes the champion there. He loves his life. He gets married, has a child. He's enjoying his life. And the ship they sent him in blew up. It malfunctioned and blew up. And he thinks that the Avengers sent him here. It was sent as a bomb to kill him.
Damn.
So he goes back to Earth and just trashes everybody, and it's called World War Hulk. And he just annihilates the Avengers, Fantastic Four, the X-Men. He just trashes all of them. They eventually beat him, but just for issues, he like smashes Doctor Strange's hands, so he can't do magic. It's brutal. So unless that's like one of the final stories of the Hulk we haven't seen yet, and unless we get some iteration of that in Endgame, I don't really see where it can be placed anywhere else. I don't know. I don't know. But the Hulk doesn't really have too many top shelf stories.
Yeah.
He's a great character, but has always been kind of in the background. So the last 2 Avengers, it's gonna kind of transition us into the kind of the next part of our discussion. Black Widow. Black Widow and Hawkeye. So, Disney announced some stuff that's going to happen on November 12th. It's the Disney Plus streaming service that's going to have, apparently, a Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner starred show with him and the Matt Fraction series of Hawkeye training a new Hawkeye to take his place. And apparently, Marvel is moving forward with a Black Widow movie. The premise, time placement, we don't know yet, but apparently, like, actors are actively signing up for it. But that leaves us with one, where we left them in Infinity War. Black Widow's always just kind of been in the shadows, just kind of a second tier character. Important, but not really.
She kind of has the Tony Stark vibe as far as like gluing a lot of people together and keeping a lot of like kind of bridging a lot of narratives. Not as like, you know, doesn't have like the Iron Man clout, but I think has a similar like,
I think
kind of vibe. I like even like a Nick Fury kind of does that in some cases where he just.
I wish the character dynamic for her was a lot stronger in the later movies with Fury, and especially Tony, being that her first appearance was in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, it seems like I feel like they stumbled onto her a little late in the game, and she
didn't
got
really know what to do.
Better later on. I feel like now she's not peaking, but I feel like they really are seeing that there's a lot of interest in her character, audience-wise.
And
she's really good actress, right? And there's so much more there than they I think originally gave her credit for.
Right.
So I think they're trying to contend with that, and there wasn't enough time to get her a
film in
her own film, an origin story, and I think they're trying to figure out what to do with her origin story too, because she's a little bit of a curiosity in the sense that she's not really a superhero.
Yes.
Right?
So in the books, in her source material, she is like 1/10 of a super soldier.
Okay.
Her, Nick Fury, the elite agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have like a drop of super soldier serum. So they're like.
There's a little edge there.
Yeah, you got some edge on
I
other
feel
people.
like at least in the current storyline that we're in, that is yet to be revealed.
I don't think it's a thing.
Or has not been confirmed.
Right, yeah.
She seems more or less to me of just like an assassin that's very good at her job.
Right.
And is involved with S.H.I.E.L.D. Probably more or less from a, like, not a political aspect in the beginning, but she probably wasn't as, like, much of an operative as she is now. Like,
she works kind of as their...
liaison,
right?
Like, and
now you work for S.H.I.E.L.D., but you're also an Avenger, so remember where home is or we'll persecute you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for her origin story. I think that is probably the...
I don't know if I want an origin story.
I definitely do.
I know,
she's the first... I feel like she's one of the first characters that really has the opportunity to do something very cool, kind of outside of the, like, current Marvel bubble. Kind of like what Ragnarok did with Thor a little bit, where there was just this totally different approach to it. Not to say that it didn't rely on, like, comedy and like all like those aspects as much, but you could almost take her and do like a Bourne Identity kind of thing.
That would be awesome.
Or something like really different and cool and throw like a wrench into it. There was like all those rumors about it being R for a little while.
You ready for this? So
throw it at me, man.
Rumors are, I don't know if you're familiar with this guy.
Here for the rumors.
Rumors are the primary villain for her movie is going to be a character called Taskmaster.
Okay.
So Taskmaster can watch someone fight and immediately mimic their fighting style. So rumors are that the movie is going to be an origin story, but it's going to be about Taskmaster training Natasha to be the Black Widow. And then apparently she gets saved by S.H.I.E.L.D., Hawkeye, whoever, and they bring her over to the S.H.I.E.L.D. side.
Okay.
But don't quote me, could be a spoiler there. But if that's in case is the origin story, I'm on board. I'm all about it. That would mean Taskmaster has been around in the MCU for a while. We can see him in the future. Plus, I love what the Russos did with Captain America 2, with that whole S.H.I.E.L.D. espionage thing. If they even produced this Black Widow movie and had their hands in it, I'd love to see that style of MCU. Espionage, Bourne Identity, guns and fists.
I feel like she could do so much different things, like so many different things with her. Like it would just be really cool. A lot of potential there. Will they do it? I don't know, but it'd be great if they did.
I'm hoping she has a bigger part in Endgame to kind of carry over to post.
I don't feel like anybody
Saga.
can have a big part in Endgame.
I think
there's so many people, and I
Thor
know
had
that
a major part in the last.
Supposed to really focus on like the six,
the
core six, but
yeah.
I just feel like it's tough with so many people involved. And Thor did kind of a big role in the last one. I feel like that had so much to do with the fact that like he was kind of what was bridging Guardians into it. He was kind of that transitional
now I think
character.
about that, he was,
so he got a lot of screen time, but
All right, Hawkeye, man. We left Hawkeye on house arrest.
Hawkeye.
Jeremy Renner was on house arrest, and we didn't see him in Infinity War at all. And we seen promo shots of him in his character adaptation as Ronin. So, source material. After S.H.I.E.L.D. collapses in the comic books, he deserts and goes off and takes on the Ronin persona because he still wants to operate in the shadows, but he doesn't want anyone to know his identity. So he becomes this Ronin person. There's been a few different Ronins in the comic books, but he's the most notable one. So apparently, we'll get to see a version of Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner, as Ronin, dropping the bow and arrow and using the katana blades, which looks sick.
All right.
The black and yellow and the hood and the mask. From what I've seen in the promo spots, he looks awesome. I don't know how much we're gonna see of him of him as Ronin in Endgame.
Yeah.
He's got a sick new sleeve, tattooed sleeve in the trailer. He's obviously pretty sad. It looks like his family may have gotten dusted. And he's out for revenge or whatever.
It's good. We definitely need to.
I don't know what is going on, but he's got a show after Endgame.
Yeah, I'm less interested in his character than I am Black Widow.
Yeah,
For some reason.
I feel like those two characters are kind of hand in hand. Like,
they are very hand in hand because didn't they have like a romantic like connection for a little while? Like, wasn't there a hint of that in the first Avengers?
yeah. Oh, yeah. So
where they were on the ship and like there was like a.
So apparently he saved her. He's the one that pulled her out of wherever she was and vouched for her.
So more of like a deep friendship kind of thing, perhaps.
And then in the books, it is more of kind of like a romantic thing than it is in the movies.
Because weren't they tying her and Banner together too?
Yeah, that was weird.
Like, wasn't she singing to him and stuff?
Yeah, I didn't like that.
That was a little bizarre.
Sun's getting real low. The sun's getting low.
And kind of never came back to that.
Terrible. I think they made jokes at it in Ragnarok.
They realized their mistakes and then moved on.
Yeah, don't ever do that again.
Yeah.
The sun's getting low. Terrible.
I'm good, but as far as the TV show is concerned, I don't know.
And lastly, the big bad of them all, Thanos.
Oh, Thanos.
Thanos. He's
man of the hour.
He snapped. Looks like he was wounded. He snapped to half the universe and fell back through a portal. The last we saw of him, he was watching the sunrise on a prospering universe.
He's in his own little planet.
Yeah. And
the gauntlet was like melted into his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of like a part of him now.
Mm-hmm. It didn't look anything like this. This is an OG gauntlet from the comic. This is what it looks like in the comic books.
Because of the green.
Yeah, all the stones are a different color.
Different.
Yeah. But it's very much like this, and it's melted to his arm, and he's just sitting around now. He's completed his mission, and he's alone. Do we think that he's anticipating anyone coming for him? Like we see in the books. I mean, not in the books. In the trailer, his voiceover is. Yeah. You guys couldn't deal with your failures and brought you back to me. So apparently they go after him. And he's like, you guys are back for another ass whooping?
Yeah, somebody's got to know where he is, right?
Yeah, they've hinted at it. They can mark his location off of his energy signature from the stones.
As you do.
Yeah.
As you do.
I don't really know what Thanos' play is. I don't think he's a big part in Endgame. I think he's...
Because you think somebody else is coming to be a secondary villain, or you think that he has kind of, he's just gonna be in the shadows running, or it's gonna be more like I don't understand how he wouldn't be a big part of it. Like he has to hold the key to snapping everything back.
I think he'll be the villain.
I guess.
So this is my take on it, right? Infinity War was primarily his story. We followed him and his journey getting the stones. I think Endgame will kind of be the 180. We're gonna see the Avengers now and how they can correct what he did. Mm-hmm. And he'll just kind of be in the background, kind of still making plays.
But does he have all the stones at this point, or does he need to get more?
He still got all of them.
Okay, so if he's got all of them...
They're just broken.
I don't feel like they can undo anything. They kind of have to go get the stones, though.
That's where that quantum realm comes into play. I think Tony maps it out, and if you remember in the end of Ant-Man, Janet Van Dyne says, don't fall into a time vortex. We won't be able to find you. So apparently the quantum realm is a bridge between time and space. If you've ever seen Interstellar, that's what the quantum realm. Yeah, I love Interstellar. But it's the bridge between time and space, and you can go into it, and it will take you any point in time wherever you want to go. Basically, if you know how to do it.
Sure.
Apparently, Hank Pym figured out how to do it by coordinating the position I flunked out of science, man. I don't have the specific terms, but he knows how to coordinate specific positions in the quantum realm to retrieve people, which would lead me to believe that they can now coordinate position different points in time to get in and out. So I think they go into the quantum realm, jump out, grab the stones, jump back in, jump out, just grab them all from different points in time before Thanos got them, and bring them back. That's my endgame theory.
Okay.
I think
But then how does Thanos play into that? Like, what point does he intercept them? Because there's
he's gotta
of some sort. Like,
he's gotta stop them at some point. And that I don't know. I have no idea with this movie, man.
It just seems like if they've cracked the code on how to like just hop back whenever they want, you could just go back and get the stones. Like,
I think he figures it out.
Such easy points in time.
I think he's got the gauntlet on, and stones just start disappearing. And he's like, I need to figure out why my stones are disappearing. Or jump in. He's gonna use one of the specific stones to stop them from retrieving that stone. I think we see two versions of Thanos. I think that's the big
Thanos A being
right. They're gonna see Thanos because we've seen shots of the Avengers, spoiler stuff, at the Battle of New York, like going back in time, and I think we're gonna see Thanos at a different point, and I think we're gonna see Thanos from our reality. I think we're gonna see multiple people of different realities seeing each other.
Okay, all right.
With the time travel, time jumps.
It's a little out there, but I'll go with it.
I'm just pulling stuff. Like I'm like reading books, like the source material, and I'm thinking about what could possibly happen in the movie. Honestly, I have no clue. There's so much that could happen. But
I see Thanos going to like a self-imposed exile.
It's just done with this.
It's kind of where he is right now, I feel like.
Yeah, he's done.
Right.
I mean, he essentially kind of signed off.
I think he's overcoming guilt. He killed, what's her name?
His daughter, Gamora.
Right, Gamora.
Do we think he's got guilt? He seemed kind of happy in the end there.
He did crack a smile.
I don't feel like he's that bummed about it. I feel like he kind of suspected that it was going to have to happen. Like, I think he was prepared to do it.
In a sociopathic way, he's happy with what he did.
Correct.
He had that vision. She's like, was it worth it? Was it?
And he said, yeah.
What'd you risk?
He said everything.
Like everything.
Everything had to go.
It's a good Will Ferrell movie.
It's a good Will Ferrell movie.
Everything must go.
He could be the next villain.
We can just do a remake with
Ron Burgundy.
Will Ferrell as Ron Burgundy
paint.
as Thanos. That would be incredible.
Gosh,
Well, Avengers.
With that, man, Thanos, outside of Loki, who's kind of been like the anti-hero of the MCU, has Marvel fixed their villain problem? He's been on 2 movies. He's back to back.
I so.
You don't think so? Think they're still gonna screw it up? That's the only thing MCU has screwed up, man. The villains. The villains are great. However,
it's because the villains,
they kill them every time.
There's a few components. Like, the villains get killed every time. That's definitely that's the case for sure. I think the second piece to this is like there's such a large portion of the fan base that are adults that are a little bit older, and when Marvel is trying to cater to such a family audience, it's really tough to bring in like truly sinister or evil villains. Like, I think there's been a really tough like
you gotta
everybody's been kind of safe. Like, they have been for the most part. Like, sure, they're killing people, but it's kind of soft, you know what I'm saying? Thanos is like wiping out half the planet with a snip of his fingers.
But he's not like murdering.
But he's not like he's not terrifying. He's just not like, he's big and he's kind of goofy and he's got some weird ideas, but he's not really terrifying. So I don't ever feel like, oh no, like
I'm scared of Thanos.
I don't have that. The only person that I remember, I feel like in any of the Marvel films having, I thought, a little bit of an edge.
Whiplash.
That's true.
Oh yeah, okay.
He was good, but they botched that so bad, in my opinion. That was a blunder.
It had potential, early on, and they just kind of dropped the ball
that.
there. Yeah,
They screwed that. I think. I was gonna say Ronan.
Yes,
He had the deep voice. He was kind of like there were some scary parts to him, and he did murder.
He murdered someone in the first 15.
Straight out,
yeah, just smashed
crushing skulls with a hammer. Like that was the closest they got to having somebody that I was like, okay, see, this guy's a little terrifying now. Like he's crossed into that. Like Loki was always funny, kind of a jokester. Like, and I know that's his character, and that's a part of it. But he never had that like super terrifying person element to him. So that's a big piece for me. Like tied with again, that's kind of tied with the fact that nobody's really around long enough for you to get to know them and be scared of them. The current like climate for content is like TV shows, in my opinion. So generally, you get to spend a lot of time. With the villain.
You're invested. You get to see them grow.
We don't have that now. Like you're getting 2 hours, and half of that is story building or so many other things. Like you're really getting so little time with villains. And Thanos is like a good attempt at trying to
bridge that gap.
But
those heroes were built up for 10 years almost. You know what I mean? So we didn't. I don't know, man. I don't think Marvel.
He's intimidating from like the fact that he can do so much. That's true.
Like 7'6".
Yeah, and they've done a better job with him. I would say he's probably the most developed for sure. I don't know if he's the most terrifying.
I like
but
Zemo.
The most developed
from Civil War. He drowned a guy. Just drowned him. I thought Winter Soldier had a crazy edge, but we all knew that wasn't going to end with him.
Yeah. Winter Soldier. Yeah, that was good. This is going to be a weird one. Thor: The Dark World.
Hela? No, Malekith. Oh, he was dark. Yeah.
But
the movie was so
ultimately super soft.
Yeah, the movie was terrible.
The movie was so soft.
They botched it.
Did not go well.
Nah.
So.
And I don't even think Thor 1 really had a villain outside of Loki. Loki was like doing stuff, but we never really.
Again, Loki was never a great villain.
Yeah.
Well, they had the. Oh no, they had what's his face, the Ice Guy, the original Night King.
The original Night King, Frost Giant.
Frost Giants.
Yeah.
Night King 1.
And then we had Night King.
He was scary. He was kind of scary.
And we had the Destroyer, which was Thor's big bad. He had to go up against at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's get into our rapid fire round. Like that? Is that bad?
That was great.
That was great.
All right. Is it Thanos or the Gauntlet that has the power to use the Infinity Stones? They make a big deal about the fact that Thanos is the one that, for the first time has been able to yield all of them together. So is it him that is allowing that, or is it the Gauntlet that allows for that? Like, if I give this to Thor,
can he? Okay.
Can he handle?
There's 3 parts to this. Okay.
This is a rapid fire round.
Rapid fire round. Yep. 1. Source material in Infinity War. No, it's not called. If it's called Infinity, you have to be a person of incredible intelligence to be able to wield these. You have to be a person of incredible intelligence to be able to wield these stones, because you have to have a grasp of what all of them can do, right? So a simpleton cannot put this on and say, because basically everything it'll just explode their head, because they don't know what they're not grasping.
They can't do it.
They can't handle all of the right. The third part is Thanos is capable of doing that. He has genius level intellect. All right, he's experimented on.
Did you list 3 things or 2 things?
That was 1.
Okay.
The third part is what his gauntlet is encased in, Uru metal. A regular person can't even, because that metal is enchanted.
So I'm putting this on Hawkeye. Does nothing.
He does nothing.
Okay.
So the reason the gauntlet can be MCU, not the comic books, but the reason the gauntlet can carry the stones is because it's enchanted. That metal is enchanted. It can magically is meant to harness the power of these stones,
to
right?
contain them. I'm with you.
And the third part is, I don't remember. It will come back to me.
You really let me down. It's all right. We'll
There's
move
a lot
on.
there.
You can come back to this. All right. So
will.
Pepper Potts.
It's a fire is wrapping around you.
I know.
I got
this
nervous.
Is a lot. I guess somebody will say something about this. Pepper Potts. Does she have powers? / does she have a role in Endgame? Because
Okay.
the last time we saw her like really in a full-on position and like role, right? She was.
What was she doing?
She was flying around, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah, she was
in
an
the end of
extremist.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
She was doing stuff.
So
like
apparently,
significant, and then we see her in
And
Infinity
she's-
War, and she's
she's
just like
a
running
regular-
around the park, like
she's
nothing
a regular
happened.
lady. So Tony states he fixed her. She's fine. She's regular.
So Tony just took care of her.
He took care of her. She's fine. However,
She's got nothing left over.
no powers. But I'm gonna make you happy here. Okay.
Right.
She, in the books, has her own suit of armor, and it's called Rescue.
Oh,
Okay.
so she's all right.
I think she's gonna be the one to use her suit and rescue Tony. Her suit is called Rescue, right? And then she tweeted a picture of herself in
A suit.
a suit. We don't know if we don't know what that's gonna, right?
But a culture?
Gwyneth Paltrow, yeah, in full suit.
Right.
So yeah, guys,
Alright.
Google that and look that up. Spoiler or whatever.
Is anybody else getting an introduction in this film?
Of
Other
course,
than like
Captain
who we already
Marvel.
know,
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, but like X-Men, Fantastic Four, Deadpool.
I don't think so.
Anybody?
That deal, if you don't know, is finally wrapped up. What was that?
It was like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. So
They would have had to have been doing it
right.
knowing that like if the deal fell through, they couldn't.
So
use it.
when the deal fell through, the Russos had not turned in the movie yet. Right? The movie, they didn't turn it in until a week later.
I could see post credits for sure, because that's like something you could pick up well after the fact.
I have
Unless-
confirmation that there are no
post credits.
post-credit
Oh, well, in that
scenes.
case, yeah,
Sorry,
maybe.
guys.
But maybe they
That's
just
not a spoiler. That has been confirmed.
maybe they just don't do a
information.
post credit scene. Maybe they just tag it on before the
Right,
credits.
right. I don't think so. Kevin Feige's came out. I mean, his word is kind of bond. He's never lied to
Everybody's
us.
still gonna wait in the theater.
Yeah, I'm still gonna sit all the way through it. But he's kind of said that, we won't see any of that stuff for like another 5 years, and I'll be an old man by then. I'll still go, but
Barely
I'll be old.
alive. Anyone
I have.
other than Thanos coming in as a villain?
I think there's potentially. So my theory is that Thanos is protecting us from someone else. He knows.
By killing Havos.
Right. Maybe Galactus, but Galactus is a Fox property. I mean, they could have worked something out. Like
Well, yeah, I mean, they had
with Spider-Man,
Spider-Man, sure.
before all of that. To write it in. I mean, they've had a long enough time. They have more than
Couldn't
enough
they
money.
have done that for X-Men or Fantastic Four or something
They
like
could
that,
have done
too?
it for a character, but I don't think anybody's playing fair, man.
Yeah. Doesn't matter
Is another character. Now, with the Quantum Realm, we're playing with time jumping. There's a guy named Kang. Kang has an alternate version of himself that he has implanted in every universe, in every time stream.
Sounds like a problem.
Right? And it is only because if he ever dies, he knows he can go and he knows he will live somewhere else.
Sure.
Right? And then he has this information database that when he comes of age, he will see that, oh, I was put here because of my future self. Whatever. It's I don't remember I think it's Avengers Forever, if you guys want to go read that.
So he transfers consciousness?
No. Actual, he goes to other universes and finds himself as a baby and is like, look,
We're getting together.
you're going to be me in like 20, 30 years, so get ready. So he doesn't like people messing with the time stream because it basically messes up everything that he's already put in place.
Gotcha. So everybody diving into the quantum realm's gonna
Kind of messes up time
yeah.
and space.
Throw
That's
a wrench.
possible. So it's either Kang, it's either Galactus. If it's neither one of those, man, I don't see anybody.
All right.
I think that's pretty much
Well,
it.
in that case, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
Wanna close it
let's
out?
Close it out. We're gonna do Who Must Die, Who Must Live. You gotta pick one person that has to die, one person that has to live.
FK was it?
That's all you get. That's all you get.
Who must die? Who must live? Cap dies. Tony lives. That's it. That's what I got.
Alan, you want to get in on this?
Tony lives, and I feel like they'll have no problem killing off Bruce.
The Hulk?
Yeah.
How?
Jeez,
I
man.
don't know. He's just Bruce.
It's not supposed to be a dark episode, bro.
It's supposed to be having fun.
Hey, we're gonna give him a standalone series anyway.
Okay, all right.
He's
So
not
you think
getting
the
this
Hulk
deal.
is gonna?
It's not him, Hawkeye.
It's like intentionally.
You think
Oh,
Hawkeye?
no, basically the show.
Hawkeye's getting the show. He's not going anywhere.
Dan?
It's gonna take place years
Hulk
before.
definitely doesn't die. I would say Cap dies.
There we
You
go.
can't kill the Hulk.
Who's got to live?
I mean, I think for the universe to go on, it has to be Tony or Thor to keep it going. Because I think that's also a nice segue into Fantastic Four or X-Men.
There we go.
You did the Fantastic Four again? He just can't seem to get that right.
No.
Well, I think the third one's going to be the winner.
I think
Hopefully.
I have faith in Kevin Feige, man. Everything he does
One's a
been
charm.
been gold.
All right, Emily. Who's living? Who's dying? You got to pick one.
She doesn't know. She's taking Snapchat videos of us.
Shouldn't even know what we're talking about.
So we're talking about the Avengers?
Yeah.
Endgame?
And Jon Snow.
From
One
what I
has to
hear,
die.
Captain America is potentially dying,
There we go. There we go.
right? Because Marvel, that woman,
Captain
She's
Marvel.
the
She's the new captain.
Marvel.
I'm the
That's
captain
my
now.
theory.
But I think also in the comics, Bucky Barnes replaces Captain America.
Yeah.
So he'll be the new captain. It's just a different character in there. But,
He's been such an ominous
but I
person,
think Steve
though.
Rogers
Like,
himself will die.
I got a Steve Rogers theory. if
And
you
I think
ask
some
me.
people say that he might end up
If
going
he
back
does,
in
he
time to
fixes
his day, which a lot of people have said.
There it
I think
is.
that kind of messes up the timeline long term, so I think they'll just kill him off.
I would be cool with him going back in time and like doing his thing, going back to where he's
I think he just goes back to 1942
He's been
before.
super sad ever
He's
since
so
he
happy.
woke up.
I think he'll just chill.
And I think they hand the reins over to Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Like, just pass it over. I feel like Bucky Barnes is too much of a, he's like a, I don't know.
We've hated on him
He's
for
kinda
so
dark.
long.
He shoots people in the head.
He just kind of like looms around. Like, he's not really
He's
not
inspiring.
happy. He's not happy.
It's hard to see the Avengers rallying around
Captain
him.
America is supposed to like represent like hope.
America!
It's supposed to be
Yeah.
George Washington.
He's Obama's super soldier. Like he's supposed to, you know what I mean? He's supposed to represent like being great and
Rate the whiskey.
Santori whiskey, Toki, Japanese whiskey. It's pretty steady. Give it a B minus.
A D minus?
B
Oh,
minus.
sorry.
B minus.
C plus, kind of teetering that line.
Yeah.
A little too smoky for me.
I'll go B. I like smoky. I think it's pretty light. I enjoy drinking it. I could kind of sip on it for
Yeah,
a
you
while.
good. Yeah, you got something.
Yeah, I'm into it.
What do you think, Al?
Alan, you want to weigh
It's
in?
good. It doesn't stay.
You looking?
it doesn't
Do you
stay.
want something that stays?
I assume that lasts a little while.
You like the taste to kind of linger.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't have
I like to
a hard
smell it when I breathe.
All right.
You like the cops to smell you.
I do. Like, what's the officer problem? Into that scenario.
What's beyond the end game?
Ugh, gosh, I don't know, dude.
Captain Marvel.
They got to figure out how to get X-Men and all these other.
That's what I'm excited about.
wrapped into the
I'm really
situation, but I don't know who the villain is.
really excited to see.
I hope they
that
don't
stuff.
introduce anybody else right now. I hope they like just.
I want, like,
just
5
end it
years off,
clean,
man.
End it clean and.
Shit, I could take
go
10
from there.
years off. It's been you know what it's done to my emotions
It's stressful.
for the past 10 years?
I think it'll be Galactus.
I buy that.
I think
but
in,
unless they worked out a deal, it's got to he can't.
But he's
do it.
such an interesting.
I mean, they have him now. They have him now.
So
So
they have him now.
I know they have him now.
But in the
Yeah.
last Fantastic Four, he was the villain, but you just see the shadow of his helmet on planets. You don't actually
Correct.
see him as a physical giant being reigning over a planet.
I would love to see that.
Or him life size
I
and
go for
shrinking
more
down.
Doomsday.
Hey.
That's a little DC character. You had too much whiskey, bro?
No, which one was Oscar Isaac?
Apocalypse. He's an
Apocalypse.
X-Men villain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Apocalypse. I'll edit that out.
Well, until the review episode.
Oh yeah, we'll be back part 2 after we actually see the movie at some point.
When that happens.
And it's Bad Guys and Bourbon. See you guys next time.